Hey, what's up folks? How's it going? This is Waj. Hope you guys are all doing well. So after a month of work, I've finally completed the workstation PC desk project that we announced a couple of weeks back. I want to go over the build process for you guys. In terms of the design, we pretty much stuck to the original design that we showed you guys in part one with that SketchUp drawing. A little bit of changes in terms of dimensions. The actual desktop surface area is about 28 inches deep and about 72 inches in terms of length, which is perfect for this corner of the office. Everything kind of worked out in terms of that. The construction is primarily made out of pine material, and I've glued 3 pieces together to create the desktop itself. It's only 3/4 inch thick pine, so I had to double the actual thickness by gluing some strips around the perimeter underneath the desk and also some pieces in the center. That way I have improved structural rigidity because this thing is going to support a lot of weight, as you can see behind me, and also I'm going to have enough room to screw in the 3/4 inch screws required to install the actual motorized desk mount. Now, constructing the rear top shelf was pretty simple and straightforward. Again, I followed my original design, and I essentially wanted place compartments to house the 2 bookshelf speakers and then 2 shelves in the center to house different audio equipment. And I joined everything together using dowel joints and pretty much glued everything together in place. Once everything was done in terms of the top shelf, I mated that with the desktop surface and again joined everything together with some more dowels, wood screws, and some more glue. After I cut a section of the 2 top shelves to make room for the 3-way monitor mount, since that's going to go right through the shelving unit, and I did so using a jigsaw, and then I just filed down all the rough edges. Now, after a couple of days of filling in holes and gaps and sanding, I finally applied my first layer of stain. And I wanted to originally go with a kind of a darker finish because I think it's going to look probably the best. It's going to hide some of my mistakes. And I applied a dark kind of wood finish along with polyurethane. And I think I had 4 or 5 coats. So we have a nice thick layer of polyurethane and stain on the desk surface. So it's going to be fairly durable and very resilient over the years, hopefully. Now, after drying out for a couple of days, I finally installed the motorized mount at the bottom of the desk, cleared out my old workspace and desk, and installed the monitor mount onto the new desk, put it in some final touches, and boom, there you have it right then and there. Everything is completed. And I want to go over some of the key features with you guys because I've added a lot of custom touches to this thing. Now, firstly, I want to talk about the actual motorized system that we're using. It's by Prime Cables. It's a frame that has a payload capacity of over 220 pounds or 100 kg. That's very important to me because again, we have 3 24-inch monitors on there. Perhaps we'll get even larger monitors in the future, and obviously a whole bunch of audio equipment and peripherals and things like that. So right now, we have the capacity to even fit more stuff on here, which is going to be really important to me because I'm always testing out different things and need a powerful desk mount system for sure. Now, in terms of the height adjustability, at its lowest point, you can set it to about 24.8 inches off the ground. And at its highest point, you're looking about 49.2 inches off the ground. That's actually a little bit too high for me. I stand about 5'9.5", 5'10", and a person that's a little bit taller should have no problems in standing and using this thing, that's for sure. Now let's go over some of the special features that I've added to this desk to make it a little bit more convenient. I wanted firstly some sort of a power and restart switch available on the desk itself. Thought it would be a cool idea to integrate one directly on the surface of the desk, and that's exactly what I've done. So you see a power switch over here, which is indicated by the blue LED, and then a restart switch with a red hard drive activity LED. And I simply use the 2-pin connectors that you'll find on a motherboard and basically routed some wires all the way down to the front panel motherboard terminal inside the PC. And I'm essentially rerouting the case, power button, restart switch to the top of this desk over here. Really simple and straightforward and pretty convenient. Right next to that is a USB-C hub. This hub is actually designed for the new MacBooks that have very limited connectivity, but it works really nicely over here. As you can see, it's super low profile, and I've encased it around a wooden frame in order to mount it at the bottom of the desk. It's a perfect solution for USB-C access, multi-card reader, as well as 2 USB 3.0 connections. Now, right next to that USB-C hub, I have an Orco sliding hard drive bay that I've mounted upside down. So essentially now I have a hot swappable 3.5-inch SATA connection. That way I have access to all these mechanical hard drives that I have laying around for backing up solutions or finding different random data on these hard drives. It's a perfect solution, especially knowing the fact that I don't have to open up the PC and find a available SATA port with SATA power. This is a great system that's also going to allow me access to 2.5-inch hard drives as well as SSDs. Furthermore, I've also added a little headphone stand at the end of the desk, so that way I can keep my headphones there without taking any space on the desk surface, which is awesome. Last but not least, I've cut out a 3.5-inch hole on the top right-hand side of the desk, which perfectly houses the RAV Power wireless charging pad, which is a super low-profile pad. But the beauty of this thing is that it is a fast-charging solution, so when I put my Samsung Galaxy Note 9 on top of the desk, it's going to charge the actual phone with a higher voltage, and the phone sits more or less flush on the desktop surface, which is a nice clean integrated solution. And plus, when I'm done charging the phone, since the charging pad sits more or less flush with the desktop surface, I can place something on there and still have that desk space, which is pretty well integrated and a pretty cool feature nonetheless. Now lastly, let's talk about the cost for the entire build, which was all in all about $457. My initial budget was around $400, which was definitely a stretch. This is including all the hardware and all the switches that we talked about earlier, so it's definitely still pretty affordable. In fact, the most expensive piece of it all was the dual motor sit stand frame, which was around $257 on Amazon. And obviously, as we mentioned before, you can get hand crank options or even single motor solutions if you're not going to build as large a solution that needs to carry such a heavy payload. But I think the $457 mark is definitely worth it. You're never going to really find a desk like this with all these integrated features, as we mentioned before. In fact, I really don't think there's anything out there that has a power button and a restart button on all this stuff built in. So if you're gonna have a specific requirement, sometimes the best solution is to make it yourself or to hire somebody to do it for you. But in any case, you're definitely gonna save a lot of money, have a lot of fun building and creating something from scratch, which is kind of fulfilling by itself. And hopefully at the end of the day, you have something that you can use on a day-to-day basis that's gonna be fun to use and also be a lot more efficient in terms of a workflow perspective. But really on that, guys, that's really it. Check out the description down below for all the detailed links and information that we talked about. I'll definitely love to hear your thoughts about the desk, and would you ever consider making your own desk? Would be kind of an interesting question that I'll throw out to you guys. But if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Please make sure you're watching our content on a regular basis. We really do appreciate your support and continuing viewership. Thanks again for watching. Without you guys, all this wouldn't be possible. Take care.